Steve. It's Jason with Karan. I just wanted to get a non-basketball question out before those started coming in. Obviously, out in Minnesota, they postponed their games, the Twins and the Timberwolves. Now, obviously, a lot of that is because of logistical issues and people's safety with kind of some of the civil unrest going on out there right now that you wouldn't have to deal with here in San Francisco. But just given the situation, did you guys have any conversations about not playing tonight, or just conversations in general about the civil unrest and what happened out in Minnesota, given just kind of the strain it can put on people's mental health, especially Black players?
Yeah, we didn't have any conversations about postponing our game tonight. I heard the news this morning after shoot around, and did not surprise me, that the Twins and Timberwolves postponed their games, given that the Derek Chauvin trial just happened last week, and just how fragile everything is there in Minneapolis. So mainly my reaction is just, another sad day in America. I know there was a school shooting in Tennessee as well. So it's just, devastating. These things seem to happen on a daily basis. And I'm thinking about the victims and their families, and, hoping they can find some peace. It's just such a terrible thing.
Sorry, there's no good way to segue there.
Yeah.
But do you know at this time if James Wiseman will miss the rest of the season?
I don't know that, Kareth. We are in the process of getting multiple opinions. He had an MRI, and so we're having multiple experts look at the MRI to determine what's next. So we don't have any timetable yet. Biggest thing is, just making sure James is okay. He's obviously, had a lot of adversity this rookie season, with the wrist injury, now the knee injury, and of course, missing training camp, not having a summer league. He's really, gutted through a lot of difficulty, and I think I've told you all how much I like James and enjoy being around him, and how impressed I am by him at such a young age. And so this is, yet another obstacle that's been put in front of him. So I just feel terrible for James. It seemed like he was just starting to get a little rhythm offensively, and starting to feel good and picking up some momentum. And so it's just, it's really tough to see him go down.
Do you know right now, is it a partial tear? Is it a full tear? Is he looking at surgery as you get these other opinions?
Yeah, all of that will be determined by the experts. And we're in the process of gathering information from multiple doctors, multiple experts. So as soon as we have anything, we'll release that to you guys.
I assume Kavan will start at center.
Yeah, Kavan will start.
Would you guys feel the need at any point, depending on Wiseman's, timetable here, to maybe add somebody to the front court?
Yeah, we're obviously very thin in the front court, so that's something that we will be looking at as we go forward, and once we get word on what James's prognosis is.
Coach, it's Leonardo Torres from Peru. Hope you're well. Coach, how do you slow down an MVP candidate like Nikola Jokic?
Well, maybe the question should be, how do we speed him up? I mean, he plays at his own pace, and while he may not be, blazing out there, he just does anything he wants, and that's what makes him such a remarkable player. He has the skill and the brain and the feel, the timing, whatever it is, that all the great ones have. He's got it, and he seems to be a step ahead of everybody else on the floor. So he's a handful. He's an amazing player. I love watching him. And we'll try to do everything we can to take him out of his rhythm and to try to take Denver out of their rhythm, which is very difficult to do. But yeah, we'll try hard.
And what are your thoughts on Facundo Campazzo?
I'm a huge fan of Facundo's. I got to know him not on a personal level, but as a player in the World Cup 2 summers ago when I was coaching with Team USA. And so I had a chance to watch him play with Argentina, and just an electric player, personality, brings so much to the game competitively. And he's got a brilliant basketball mind, so he's out there doing everything to help his team win. He just makes winning plays. So I'm a big fan.
What's the latest on Kelly? I know he's not playing tonight, but just how's the wrist looking?
I'm sorry, Anthony. I didn't.
What's the latest on Kelly Oubre?
Yeah, he remains day to day. I talked to him today. He said he's feeling better, and so I don't think this will be a long absence, but we'll just continue to say day to day.
Hey, Steve, Mark Medina here with USA Today. I hope you're hanging in there. I know the game's obviously changed, but what do you make of this stat that there hasn't been a center that won the MVP award since Shaq in 2000, and maybe Embiid or Nikola could end this year?
Yeah, well, that is kind of the way the game has been trending. We probably had a bunch of them in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I would guess. But the game has moved out to the perimeter, and it's much more of a wing game these days. So guys like LeBron or Kevin Durant or even in the backcourt with Steph. I mean, it's really much more of a game that's centered on no pun intended on guards and wings. So I guess that stat makes sense.
Coach Chris Alvarez. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, I mean, obviously Nikola and Embiid, they're really talented players, but where do you see the center position in today's game and how they can, still make an impact?
Well, I think the standard centers, the guys who maybe aren't all-stars, but what you're looking for is, shot blocking and the vertical threat of the lob, because there's, everybody's running pick and roll and there's so much spacing with 3-point shooters. You really like to have a vertical threat as a lob catcher. And if you can find somebody who does that and protects the rim, then that's kind of, I think, the standard center's job these days. If you're lucky enough to find somebody like Nikola or Embiid, now you're talking about controlling the game with a big guy, which is just, as we just talked about, is just very rare. But there still are a few guys who are just unbelievably gifted, and you can run the game through them.
Coach, when Steph was asked recently about passing Wilt for the all-time scoring lead for the Warriors, he was kind of left at a loss for words. 19 points away, in all likelihood, can do it tonight. What are your thoughts on him taking over Wilt and just him in Warriors history and NBA history as far as a scorer goes?
Well, it's just an incredible feat. Passing Wilt in anything statistically is sort of remarkable, because his name is just all over the NBA record books. So the fact that Steph is about to break that record is just incredible, and obviously a testament to what he's done here in his 12 years. What an impact he's made. I don't know if breaking that record will even tells the story, because what Steph brings goes so far beyond points. It's the impact on his teammates, on the community, on the organization, style of play, just how unique he is as an individual. He's changed the game. He's inspired all the young NBA point guards who've come up to become much better shooters. He's changed the game. So this is, as awesome as this accomplishment is, passing Wilt, it's just one of many for Steph.
Steve, kind of jumping on to Chris's question there,
Yeah.
is that accomplishment maybe made more meaningful or special in how much player movement is happening these days?
Yeah, I think, and maybe Steph should be glad that Wilt was part of the player movement. Otherwise, he never would have passed Wilt. No, I think it is really refreshing. When you see a guy like Dirk Nowitzki or Kobe Bryant, or now Steph, maybe Clay, hopefully, Draymond, those guys. When you see players with one franchise for their entire careers, it's really special. When you play in Dallas now, if you look on the floor, there's a silhouette of Dirk shooting his signature fadeaway on each end of the floor. And I love that. I thought it was a really great idea from the Mavericks. It's such a great way to sort of honor Dirk and remember his legacy. And I imagine there'll be something like that here, maybe a picture of Steph like holding his mouthpiece or something.
Hey, Steve, I'm sorry if this is overkill, but can you please confirm that it is a meniscus injury for Wiseman?
It is a meniscus injury, yes.
Thank you.
Will he be in the building tonight?
He's here now. So, he was here at shoot around, and he's in the weight room lifting right now.
How generally is he handling it, number one? And you mentioned it there, like, sounds like he can still do some type of activity if he's lifting weights, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's in really good spirits. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, he's just been through an awful lot this season, and he has a really good way about him, and he's at minimum putting up a good front, but I know he's really crushed, but he's hanging in there.
And he can do some type of activity, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think he's doing upper body lifting today. All right, everybody. See you after the game.